Tonight, we're diving into Reddit and reading some of the creepiest Appalachian stories we could find. Stories about strange encounters, unsettling rules, things in the woods, and moments where people realized they probably should have listened to the warnings. So get cozy, turn the lights down, and maybe don't answer the knock at the door.
Hello, friends and family. Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Bizarre. I'm Montana.
I'm Jessica.
And if you're new here, hi, hello, welcome. We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting.
On our podcast, we dive into the bizarre, spooky, and unexplained. From true crime and paranormal encounters to strange mysteries, we explore the stories that don't quite fit anywhere else. Each week, one of us takes a deep dive into the research while the other reacts in real time. If you're into weird shit and good vibes, you're in the right place. New episodes every Sunday. Be sure to follow and subscribe.
So I'm excited about these creepy stories. It'll be a nice little relaxing episode for us.
I'm
no
surprised.
Research required.
Yeah. I'm surprised we have not done an Appalachia story or any stories about Appalachia yet.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that we haven't, especially because it's pretty popular in our realm. But I think I found some good ones too. So hopefully they don't disappoint.
Yeah. Did you read them?
I started them and then I stopped like halfway through just to make sure that, I think they're going to be good. So hopefully I'm not wrong.
Well, I'm ready. If you want updates and everything, go to Patreon, patreon.com/weeklybizarre. And we completely changed a lot of things on Patreon, and now we have tiers. So go check it out. I think that's the only update we have, right?
For now, stay tuned. Many things are happening behind the scenes.
Also, as you notice, we have ads now on our episodes, and I know it's annoying. I get it. But we have ad-free episodes on Patreon. So we appreciate all the support. We really do.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so awkward today. I can't. It's been a week. Okay. Don't blame me.
It's been a week. We've both been sick in different ways. Mine might have been food poisoning. We won't talk about hers. It seems
mine's
rough.
Energy poisoning. Just energetically poisoned. I don't know.
Yeah. But we're here. I feel like we haven't done an episode in forever. Doesn't it seem like a long time?
It does. It's been weird. It's like we're in a time warp or something. It's like time is going fast, but at the same time, it's so slow. Like I feel like it's been a month since we've done an episode. I feel out of practice almost. It's weird.
That's why you're awkward.
I am awkward. I'm awkward normally, but I'm just extra awkward today. Me? You love me?
Yeah. Welcome to Weekly Bizarre. Thank you. They're like, get on with it.
Let's get on with it. I'm excited about this one because this one was posted 17 days ago.
Oh, this is a new one. Okay.
So this is a new one. And this was on the Paranormal Appalachia thread. And this was posted by No Interest 9597. And it's called, Can Anyone Explain What the Fuck Just Happened to Me?
We ask that every day.
Hi. Okay, so a little context. I'm from Florida.
What are you doing in Appalachia?
And I'm staying near Shenandoah for a week. I arrived a few days ago and I'm staying at this kind of remote cabin with a friend and my dad. When I say kind of remote, I mean we're close to a town, but we're fully surrounded by woods. Also, our cabin was built in the 1850s. It's about 1 a.m. when this goes down. My dad is long asleep. My friend is taking a shower downstairs. I'm in our bedroom upstairs on my phone. My friend randomly calls me and just says to come to the bathroom. I do. When I get there, she's still wrapped in her towel and starts typing on her notes app on her phone so as to not say anything out loud. She tells me she's hearing knocks coming directly from the bathroom door. At first, one knock, two knocks, a few seconds later, and then one knock. Those were not wood creaks, I promise you. She opens the shower curtain and calls out my name, thinking that I was knocking to mess with her. She shrugs it off and keeps showering. A few seconds later, she hears something fall on the trash can and bounce to the floor, and it was loud. The trash can is made of metal, and it sounded exactly like what you'd imagine when something falls on it. Now, the only thing that was in the range to fall on it was a glass cup with water and her retainer on it. She opens the curtain to check again, and lo and behold, absolutely nothing fell. There was nothing on the floor. At that point, she texts me to come down, and I stay in the bathroom with her until she's done and nothing else happens. When we come back up to our room, we thought it had stopped since we were no longer alone. Now, I've always considered myself a medium or something along the sorts. Okay. Say what you will about that, but I'm able to see things and have been since a child. It's pretty cool. I was seeing these two figures just running around our room. They kept their respective distance, each one staying on one side of the room. One was a very humanoid like figure, and the other one just some sort of entity, which I could not make out its shape. I don't say anything or acknowledge them, especially to not creep out my friend even more. We're just sitting in silence, processing what the fuck just happened when we hear shuffling coming from downstairs. It's hard to describe what we heard, but it was like someone was just using the kitchen and moving things and chairs around, and footsteps. I tell her it's probably just my dad grabbing water, and she still looks skeptical, so I called out, "Dad!" And he says, "Yeah?" So we just agree that it was him and decide to go to bed. The next morning, I wake up a bit earlier than she did, about 8:30. I'm scrolling on my phone in bed when I hear my dad's footsteps coming from below. His room is directly below us and the walls are paper thin, so I didn't think much of it. After a few seconds of footsteps just shuffling, I hear the loudest fucking bang of my life. Sounded like someone fell headfirst into the floor. My dad injured his back a few days ago and has been struggling to walk a lot and move around. So my first thought is that he fell. I call out for him and get no response. I immediately shoot out of bed, and that wakes up my friend, and run downstairs to check on him. I open his door and he is asleep on the bed. Keep this in mind. I come back up and my friend asks me what happened, so I tell her. We decide to just move on and we chill in bed for a bit before we go downstairs to make breakfast. My dad is already downstairs and he already got ready. We end up telling him everything that happened, and he says things that just make this entire thing weirder. Firstly, last night when we called out for him, he was in his room in bed. My yelling woke him up, and that's why he replied, but he had never gotten up or moved anything. So what the fuck were all of those rustling sounds and footsteps we heard? Second of all, this morning, around the time I heard the bang and went to check on him, he was in the shower. He got up at like 8 and didn't leave until 9, and then went straight into the kitchen. So one, why didn't I hear the shower running or him in the bathroom? And two, Why the fuck did I see him asleep on the bed? I know the time is right since I had my alarm set for 8:30. Ooh, a
Ew.
mimic? A mimic? Ooh, that gave me
Ew.
chills. Oh my gosh.
Bye.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I want to see what some of the people say here.
Oh, that's the end of the story?
That's the end of it. Yeah. Sounds like the forest spirits, they're naturally curious and cause all sorts of mischief while not inherently bad. They can be temperamental.
Yeah, but you in Appalachia.
Yeah.
Take that with a grain of salt. This is an unpopular opinion and probably get hate for it, but I am not a fan of the Shenandoahs.
Really?
One, if you want to see bears, that's definitely a place to go. You'll see quite a few bears in Shenandoah. But two, it's so crowded and it's expensive, and I just wasn't a fan when I was hiking through the. But also, I was a different perspective because I was a through hiker hiking the Appalachian Trail, and so they didn't really cater to through hikers. Their main target was tourists and people there to just stay within the park. So that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah. But shameless plug. I am doing Substack of my trail journals of doing the Appalachian Trail. Every day I wrote in a journal, so it's in Big Sky if you want to go check it out. I'm sharing it with the world after like 12 years, but
Go check it out, guys. I'll try this one. I hope this doesn't suck. Okay, so this one is also from the Paranormal Encounters, and this was posted by Expert Weakness, and it's called They Kept Calling Our Names in the Appalachian Mountains. Okay.
Don't answer.
Do not answer. My husband and I have recently gotten married and rented a cabin in the middle of the mountains of Gatlinburg for our honeymoon. Both of us are big fans of hikes, nature, mountains, and spectacular views. So at first, we didn't necessarily mind the fact that in this specific cabin, there was no signal whatsoever. We also did know. Yeah, no
No,
thanks.
that bugs me.
Mm-hmm.
No. We didn't have reception. Yeah, we didn't have reception at Hocking Hills, and that was only Hocking Hills, and that no.
Oh man, when I used to work in the Hocking Hills, people, I mean, I was used to it because I was there all the time. And I actually had signal, which is weird because nobody else ever had any phone service, but I always did. But our clients that would come in would just always be freaking the hell out about it. And I get it.
Baby.
Yeah. And two, it's really easy to get lost down there. Like there's a lot of little side roads, and when you don't have any signal and you don't know where you are, I couldn't tell you how many times people on foot would get lost too, because I guess there's a trail that connects two of the major sites, and people would go the wrong way and end up having to go miles off course, and they would always walk past where I worked. And it was so funny because you could automatically tell it was almost always the woman is walking way ahead of the man because she's probably so pissed off at that point. But yeah, people were always freaking out because there's no signal. So I get it.
Hello, the movie was called Wrong Turn for a reason.
Yeah. All right. So we also did know what people say on TikTok about rules of the Appalachian Mountains, but we never really cared. We just laughed it off.
There you go. Karma's a bitch.
It was fine. 6 days in the middle of nowhere with no one disturbing us or calling us every second. That's all we ever wanted. Sounds like me. The first 2 days were fantastic. The nights were quiet, the air was fresh, the weather cooler. Then the third night made me change my mind about paranormal. Oh, so this was a non believer that is now a believer.
It always
Okay.
is. They joke,
I,
they laugh until it happens to them. Then they ain't joking, they ain't laughing.
it's true. That's why it needs to hurry up and happen to your brother.
I know. Yeah, I got judged the other night by a ghost in my house.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to
How
get judged by
so?
everybody on here. So I was upstairs because we have a kitchen upstairs too, and Brian got me this ice cream cake. So I'm eating this ice cream cake. I'm eating this ice cream cake out of the box right on the sink. So I'm of course judging myself, and then the lights just flicker on and off, and I'm like, well, I'm really being judged here by a ghost. So I put the ice cream away.
Speaking of ghosts, all that weird energy I was feeling around my house is gone.
Yay! Did you sage?
I did. I did.
See?
I did. And then, the little ritual that I did on Lionsgate.
The lion portal.
Yeah, I think
8-8.
definitely helped too. So yeah, the third night made me change my mind about paranormal. My husband and I never believed in such things. Both of us are very skeptical. Yet on the third night, just as we got back to our cabin after a long afternoon hike, the lights were turned on in every single room. We remembered very clearly that we haven't even turned them on throughout the day since the natural light was coming through the windows, and that was enough. Naturally, the first thought was to check for an intruder, but no one was home. It was a big scare, but we tried to be rational and thought that maybe the power went on and off and then back on. So that's why the lights were on now. We went to sleep thinking it was nothing. At 2 a.m., my phone rings. Remember, there was no signal. And I received the call on WhatsApp, for which you need internet in order to receive calls or messages. And it was my mom calling. Since I got startled in the middle of the night and my brain wasn't fully connected yet, I didn't really stop there to think, wait, how am I receiving a call? I just saw my mom calling and picked up. My husband had woken up too in the meanwhile, and as I put the phone on speaker, no one spoke. I kept saying, hello? Mom? What? Yet not a single breath could be heard from the other end. I hung up and tried calling her again, but that's when it dawned on me. The phone wasn't ringing, of course. The call wasn't being forwarded. There was just no signal. When I went to my mom's chat to check if she had really called me on WhatsApp, the new chats weren't even loading, of course. So how? My husband and I have always been fans of The Office. And so we took inspiration from Pam and Jim's honeymoon by telling all of our relatives, coworkers, and friends not to call us during this honeymoon. The call wouldn't be received regardless. It was a little joke between us. Yet my mom called. At that point, I was very, very freaked out. Either my mom had an emergency or something eerie was happening. I couldn't go back to sleep no matter what. My husband, on the other hand, was sound asleep. That sounds familiar. So familiar. Around 2:33 a.m., I start hearing some noises outside. Someone was shouting something, but the sound was muffled. It was most certainly a man, and at first I thought it might be just someone nearby being a jerk or whatever. I didn't want to be the type to think everything that had happened was now related to something paranormal, but it sounded as if the shouting person was getting closer and closer. So my first instinct was to look out the window. I did, and no one was around. And either way, it was pitch dark outside and couldn't see. But maybe on the other side of the house, I thought. I wanted to go outside and check, but I've seen horror movies in my life, and that's usually how the main character dies. So I woke my husband up and told him to go look outside so he can die.
I mean, the moment you had no signal, that should be your first clue. That's how a main character dies in a horror movie.
Yeah.
Call for help. I don't have signal. I don't have signal either. Hello.
He very begrudgingly did, and I followed him. We had just gotten on the front porch, and for a while, nothing could be heard. Oh, to be a fly on the wall for this.
That would be me. Do you see anything from behind the door?
How's it going out there?
Your eyes adjust to the dark yet?
I'll be here if you need me.
I'm just going to shut the door. Shout if you see something.
Oh, she followed him. We had just gotten to the front porch, and for a while, nothing could be heard. Nothing at all. A few seconds pass, and then the shouting was clearer than ever. It was saying, Emily, and then right after, Brian. Those were our names, and it was so damn close. No. I'd be in the car.
I got chills.
I'd be in the car. Yeah, me too.
You got the wrong people.
Kind of funny how my husband and I heard it at the same time, looked at each other, and went back inside like two scared children. Naturally, we didn't go to sleep, but we stayed for the remaining 3 days, and nothing else happened, fortunately. When we got back home, as soon as we landed and I had service, I checked WhatsApp. The call I had received from my mom didn't even appear. Not even a single message appeared, really. And guess what she said as soon as we asked her if she ever called us? Why would I bother calling y'all? Fair enough, Mom. But this will definitely be a honeymoon to remember in the worst way. That's weird. That's weird that it happened the one time and then nothing else happened.
That still would have been a loan for me to be like, no, we're leaving.
Yeah.
I've seen strangers, okay? Even if it wasn't paranormal, people are scarier than paranormal.
That's
what
true.
If it was people actually messing with you?
Yeah, that was my first thought. Like maybe it was somebody that they had met somewhere, like at a store or something around the area that was fucking with them.
Yeah, and like next they'll be like knocking on your door. Then is Tara home? It's from Strangers. If you haven't seen it,
no, have not.
Yeah, she knocks on the door with a mask on, and she's like, "Is Tara home?"
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
I would have been out. Go back to 100%. Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg's a really busy. It's a busy city. Tons of people. Just go back to Gatlinburg.
All right. So this was 4 years ago. And this was from Backwoods Creepy. And it was posted by Del Teco 22. And it's called, Was Told to Post This Here, Strange Night Camping in Appalachian, Ohio.
Appalachian, Ohio?
So this had to be down around my neck of the woods.
I was going to say, is this where your family is? Grandma, maybe. Is that you?
Oh, Zaleski. Where is that? That sounds familiar.
No idea.
That's not where I'm from, but I don't think it's that far. Maybe like an hour perimeter somewhere. Anyway, let's see what happened. I wasn't sure where to post this, but I needed the validation that I'm not insane. I've never really had paranormal experiences, but I cannot explain this. I'm in college, and me and some other 7 people from my school went on a backpacking trip, and we had 2 experienced leaders. We drove to Zaleski State Forest, which is in the Appalachian region of Ohio. It was early April this year, and it was cold, and everything was still dead from winter. After hiking miles into the forest, we set up camp in the backpacking campsite, and there were a couple other groups of people as well. A few of them were friendly older couples, and then 2 college-aged girls. Everyone was pretty spread out from each other. We set up camp farther away from everyone else. I've always been able to sense energy of places, and the energy in this area wasn't great. It was almost spooky. Each of us had individual 1-person tents, and we formed kind of a cluster in this site, with my tent being in the back so no one was behind me. Our cluster was also right next to the forest because this backpacking site was like a big cleared off square in the middle of the trees. Fast forward, I'm dead asleep around 2 a.m., and I wake up to leaves crunching right behind my tent. I hear footsteps walking in circles around my tent. They had a sort of heaviness to them that couldn't be a deer or a dog. Also, it sounded like just two legs. I cannot make this up. This creature was circling my tent for long periods of time, slowly walking around the rest of our tent cluster. I could hear a human like breathing from the mouth when it was close to my tent, like a light sort of heaving. This is reminding me of the one
Vito
from, yeah, this sounds like Vito's story, kind of.
circling, yeah.
Yeah, he had what he thought was Bigfoot sightings, and they behaved just like this, circling the tent, rummaging around in his stuff, the campsite. I was shaking, too scared to unzip my tent and investigate. I kid you not, this occurred for hours, and it seemed I was the only one awake. Out of nowhere, I see an illuminated light shape from my tent, although I couldn't tell what it was from inside my tent. Ooh, because it was all zipped up. It was like a warm glow, and it didn't move like a flashlight would. I was paralyzed in fear. I simply couldn't believe it was an animal. At some point, I fell asleep due to sheer exhaustion, but I could hear the heavy footsteps circling until I did. There is no way I would
I
fall
don't know
asleep.
how people do that because even Vito was like, yeah, the guy with me in the tent was just like, all right, I'm going back to sleep. How?
Tony, that's how Tony would be. He'd just be like, I'm going to bed.
Oh,
I have no idea. In the morning, I questioned my fellow campers about it, and my leader admitted she heard the footsteps and noises as well, admitting it was bizarre and she would have investigated had she not been so groggy. One of the boys in the group said he also noticed the light that came on, but thought it was someone else. Not a single person in this group went up to go to the bathroom or turned on a light that night. I've heard things about the Appalachian regions being creepy and bizarre, and now I believe it. Some people on Reddit have leaned towards Bigfoot because apparently he's associated with light orbs. Never been a Bigfoot believer, but I'm telling you, this didn't feel like just any animal like a bear. Did Bennett talk about that? That they were associated with orbs? I think he did.
yeah, because he talked about SW Ranch, and SW Ranch is associated with orbs and Bigfoot. There's a lot of lore there around SW Ranch that's where he's been as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds freaky. When I saw the light, that's probably when I really would have started to panic.
Why I would have said something. I'd be like, Susie, is that you or someone walking around my tent? Like I would have said something. Like, I don't know. I can't be the only one hearing this.
Yeah.
When I haven't gone back to sleep.
There's no way in hell. Okay.
But everything does sound extra loud out there. There could be a little bird playing in the leaves and it would sound really loud because it's nothing but quiet when you're camping out there. But I think you would know the difference of an animal that's walking around on four legs like a bear. They make noises. And then a human walking around on two legs. Like you would know the difference, or not human walking around on two legs.
Right. And like they said, the breathing too.
Mm-hmm. That's when you know the difference between a bear and something else.
No, thank you. Okay. So this one is posted a year ago by Doopy. Doobie Doopy. I live in the heart of Appalachia, and this is easily the most terrifying story of one of my experiences. Okay. I don't think I read any of this one, so we'll see. The story may be short or it may be drawn out. I'm recounting these events as I type, as it was honestly one of the most horrifying things I have experienced, and it brings me genuine stress to think about. This happened maybe 2 to 3 years ago. I live in southern West Virginia and have for my entire life. The woods and mountains surround it every direction you look, and nighttime is a darkness that you can never dream of unless experienced. But you
Amen.
can but you can see the Milky Way.
Did they write that, or did you say that?
I said that. I said I bet you
Oh.
can see the Milky Way if it's that dark.
If you're in the woods, it's not like movies where the moon lights up the forest. No, it
No.
is. You can't see a hand in front of your face dark. Get a headlamp.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, anytime as a kid, because I was always out in the woods, I wanted to make sure that I was out of those woods before it got dark.
That's why in movies it makes me mad when they're like running around the woods being chased by a killer and they can still see. And I'm like, you got me able to see shit.
Yeah.
It's not realistic.
Even on a full moon, you'd be lucky for it to illuminate much at all.
It's pitch black.
Hey, where was I? I was with a friend. I'll call him Mark. Okay, Dad. It's my dad's name.
No, I was supposed to be like, Jessica, is this your dad?
Could be. He was always lurking out in the woods doing something he shouldn't be doing. Mark was at my house one evening doing the usual things, watching UFC, playing Xbox, etc. It was extremely late when he finally got bored and decided to go for a walk on the nearby trail to smoke a joint. This is not a particularly long trail, but it's very dense in the woods that surround it, and it's easy to get freaked out when thinking of your surroundings. We finally get to about halfway into the trail, about 30 minutes in, where we stop, pack our joint, and stand on the trail to chill and talk. The forest is very alive tonight. There are always noises in the woods, but the amount of animal activity for the time was unsettling. At this point, it was probably past 1 a.m. This was strange and kind of eerie, but not alerting, as any sort of predatory animal in the area may cause a disturbance. We finish smoking and continue our walk when almost immediately the forest falls dead quiet. Oh no. Oh no.
First sign.
No. And as soon as the forest goes quiet, there is a voice. It almost sounds like a mocking humanoid voice, shaky and uncertain, almost like an old children's toy, like the ones with the crackly speakers and robotic voice, if you know what I mean. Oh, hell no.
Ew.
This immediately sets us off. We bolt directly down the opposite length of the trail, but the sound does not gain distance. It doesn't get closer per se, but no matter how far we ran down the trail, this eerie voice remains the same volume, going over and over with no quieting or stopping. Ugh. At this point, I'm convinced that we are in genuine danger, something I have felt very few times. Finally, after sprinting for who knows how long, we exit the trail, grasping for breath and almost at the verge of tears of how frightening this was. We begin to exit the trail, and about 5 minutes from the exit, there is a bone-shaking, heart-stopping, murderous scream from directly behind us. I know what a mountain lion sounds like. This was not an animal. This was not someone playing or watching a movie. This scream sent birds flying from nests and made my heart drop into my stomach. It was the most genuinely depraved and violent scream that I have ever heard. Banshee?
That's what I was thinking.
This is a true story that I have only told to maybe 3 people, all of whom seem to brush it off as false. I've never been a person to push for the existence of the paranormal or spiritual, but I genuinely believe I encountered something inhuman in those woods. Edit. I know I will receive questions such as what the voice was possibly saying or to explain the area and what happened after. I genuinely cannot remember what the voice was saying, if anything intelligible. I don't know if I could understand it then, and I certainly can't recall understanding it after several years of blocking it out of my memory. All that I can recall is that it was fluctuating in its pitch, shaking, almost just joining sounds together. After running from the scream at the end of the trail, we ran to the car, which was only about 5 more minutes from the trail. So we got there relatively fast from sprinting. That sounds terrifying.
They're lucky they didn't trip.
Seriously.
I don't know how they would have seen anything running.
Ooh, the fact that it remained the same distance from them no matter where they were, that's really creepy. I don't like that.
I don't like that at all.
No, it doesn't sound like they liked it either. Ooh.
At least they lived to tell the tale. I mean, don't you hear stories about that a lot? They hear screams out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I know that a lot of times it is animals, especially like when a fox is in its mating season or whatever, they can sound pretty wicked, like screaming. It's kind of crazy if you don't really know what you're hearing, but I don't know. I think most people would be able to tell between that and what a human sounding scream is. So, pretty scary.
Well, if it was a fox, I don't think the forest would go completely silent before that.
Yeah, true. That just adds another layer of what the fuck. I I can't. I honestly don't know what I would do if I was out in the woods and everything went still and silent like that because I would immediately know. I'd immediately know I'm screwed.
Like, here we go. This is
Yeah.
the moment that everybody writes about.
Yep. What's it going to be? It's going to be a banshee. Is it going to be a mimic? Is it going to be a Bigfoot? What's happening? Going to be an alien?
It can be quiet in general, though. Like when I go camping and hiking, I bring headphones and download movies or something on my phone because I have to have it on because I can't stand to hear anything outside my tent. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's smart.
I mean, probably not because I don't hear anything coming if it does, but
True. Is there any explanation of why things go still right before something like that shows up?
well,
I mean, they're
maybe animals sense it.
yeah, kind of like an oncoming storm, how they're pretty sensitive to that.
Hmm. Like they sense something coming or something bad. Animals pick up on energy.
Yeah. All right, back to the paranormal Appalachia. This is posted by Moon Asks, not Moon Ass, Moon
It's like
Asks.
mood ass.
This is called Unexplained Sighting from Thanksgiving a few years ago, trying to identify what my family saw. I live in the Appalachian region of Kentucky in a medium sized town. I've never heard of any paranormal stories or sightings in my area, but something my mom and brother witnessed a couple of years ago has always stuck with our family. For some backstory, they were driving down Christie Creek Road. Oh, that's cute. Christie Creek Road. It's a highly traveled road, and if you're local, you know people usually drive 60 to 65 miles an hour on its curvy stretches. Most people aren't paying much attention to the fields because they're focused on the road. This happened around Thanksgiving. They both saw a woman with long, dark, flowing hair wearing a bright white dress walking through a large open field. The field was very muddy from all of the rain, and there were no houses nearby. The closest one was probably at least a half mile to a mile away. What made it so strange was that she wasn't alone. They remember her walking with a calf, a goose, and either a dog or a cat. What the heck? My mom said it almost looked like the woman was skipping because her dress flowed through the air as she moved. Here's the part they still can't explain. When the dress lifted as she walked, it was still perfectly white. There wasn't any mud on it at all, even though the field was soaked and muddy. If you lived in Kentucky, you know Thanksgiving weather is usually cold, rainy, and messy. Most people wouldn't even walk through a field like that without boots, let alone wear a spotless white dress. I've always wondered if there was a normal explanation, but I also believe in the paranormal and can't help but think about it. Has anyone else in Kentucky or anywhere else ever seen or heard of something similar? Whether you have a paranormal theory or a logical explanation, I'd love to hear it. No, I can't say that I have. I have never heard of anything like that before. Have you?
No, but we talked about this many times. There's always a woman in white.
Mm-hmm. What the heck was she? Why'd she have a little sidekicks of animals with her?
What was it? A calf, a goose,
A
and a
calf, a
dog?
goose, and either a dog or a cat.
Okay, you know the difference between a dog and a cat.
Yeah, it must have been small, I guess. That is so odd. I don't, I don't know what I would do if I saw something like that.
I've never seen anything like that. I don't know.
What a strange combination of animals.
I know when I was at my parents a long time ago, they all share a driveway. So you have, take their driveway all the way back to the houses. And that's when my parents had a deer. So I had the deer, I had the turkeys with me, and then two dogs. And the Amazon driver is just driving by and he stops. And he's like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life because I'm just like petting the deer while the turkeys are following me. And he's like, can I take a picture of this moment?
Freaking Snow White over here.
I know. So I feel like that guy now.
Let
Are people commenting?
me go back. What?
What?
What a weird synchronicity. The fact that I had already skipped out of this and you asked about the comments and I went back and this is what it says.
What?
So this person says, my family's from near that area. Just curious if you feel comfortable sharing which county. I know of some really scary stuff up in Laurel County. I came across a theory many years ago. Who knows how much truth there is to it? But it was said that mountainous areas have denser mineral deposits that sort of allow what we would think of as a video recording. The theory goes on that when strong emotions or events happen, the frequency that comes off a human can be recorded in the atmosphere and will play back again like a movie. At, at least it wasn't something more terrifying. Seems like if that's what it was a good memory. Frickin' stone tape theory.
Oh.
That's
Oh, that's weird.
wild. Ooh, that would make sense. That would make
Okay, it's
sense,
just,
but
it sounds like a Disney movie.
but it wouldn't I can't imagine it would be a good memory though. If cuz isn't that like something really traumatic has to happen in order for it to be kind of etched in the stone, if you will? Ooh.
I mean, it doesn't make sense what a woman's doing out there with a calf, a goose, a dog, or a cat. Like, I can't get past that.
Yeah. Ooh, what if there was like sometime in the past there maybe they were all in a fire or something, like in a barn or something, and it went up in flames and they all died and they're together still.
But,
Just
but wouldn't there be a
real
story around that?
true. Maybe. I don't know.
I can't explain
That's
that
crazy.
one. I got nothing on this one.
Yeah. Another person kind of said the same thing. I wonder if you're seeing a ghost or memory from the past. That's about it. Yeah, I don't know. That's very strange.
It could be Snow
Weird.
White. They said she had dark hair.
True.
I got nothing.
This is posted by Chunky Butt Soup Dinner.
That sounds something like Tony would write.
It does. Oh, God. And it's called My True Spooky Appalachian Experience. I'm writing this before the sun is up. I just couldn't go back to sleep afterwards. I live
Finally, a normal
in,
person.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Can
a normal
relate.
person.
Finally, we can relate to this one. I live in southern West Virginia in a dark, dark holler. I woke up around 4:45 a.m. to a very clear bang, 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 bang that sounded like it was coming from all around the room. Thinking it was my cats, I got up to see what they were getting into. I walked out of the room, and all three of them were sitting up in their beds, ears back, trying to trace the sound. Fiance is still asleep, so it hasn't woken her up yet. Bang, bang, bang. Is it coming from under the house? Maybe something's got under there and is fucking around. I waited for it again. Bang, 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 bang. Louder this time, accompanied by what sounded like a woman saying something. I checked my outdoor cameras and nothing. It's not coming from my house, but from outside. More bangs followed up by a hey, somebody getting shot up. What's going on here?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. I stepped out onto my front porch, lit a cigarette, and listened, eyes searching for something in the dark. Hi. Oh my God.
Oh, no. No.
Oh. A woman's voice from across the way, about 100 feet away from me, near my neighbor's house. Hello, I responded in a confused and apprehensive tone. No.
Idiot. Idiot.
Oh, I thought you were someone else, said the voice. I still couldn't make out a figure, just the direction the voice was coming from. Is that you making that banging sound? I asked. Yeah, it is. And if you don't like it, you can call the fucking law. What's going on here? Is this just some random, is somebody
It's a
punking
holla,
us?
right? So is it just some hillbilly in the holla over that thought you were?
Dang it. I thought this was going to be really scary. No, it's just some
It's
crazy,
fantastic.
crazy redneck lady. I sighed and went back inside to the tune of her banging on my neighbor's door, shouting, "Open the goddamn door, you piece of shit. You knew I was coming." Okay, this took a turn. This totally took a turn.
This is why we don't read them before. This is fantastic.
I picked this. I decided to make my coffee and just stay awake. No point in trying to tuck back in. Just goes to show you that if something goes bump in the night, it's probably just your shitbird neighbor having a shitbird guest come over to do her early morning shitbird activities. God bless West Virginia.
She got the wrong holla. Yeah, I thought it was going to be something creepy when you just hear a hi.
This person is hilarious, though. I mean, they totally are trying to reel people in with that title. My true spooky Appalachian experience. You got us. You got us.
Oh my God. Just got the wrong holler. That's all.
That was great. Okay, there's one more. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not. Now I'm questioning my capabilities of picking stories.
You ain't the only one. I mean, it's not fun to read them before because I like to be surprised with you.
On top of that, like he even made it look scary. Like I clicked on it and the words were all green and glowy. I'm like, come on.
And now you're like, ooh, this one has a lot of upvotes too.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
That's kind of fantastic though.
Okay, we'll end on this one, but not making any promises that it's going to be any good after that last one. So somebody asked, what is the scariest, most uncanny experience you've had in the Appalachian Mountains? And Blues with Beer responds, I'll make a shorter story from a longer one involving sensitive auras, but once I was with a girl in Big Frog Mountain at dusk, miles away from anyone. We decided to walk up a trail when right behind the car I stepped in a mud puddle with odd looking light brownish water. I pointed the unusual color to her. Then we started walking. Not far up the trail, she started getting scared, and we went back to the car. In the car, we started making out while lying in the front seat, and she had her hand draped out the window. Can't picture
What?
that. Can't picture that. Making out, but you're like, okay. What?
Like you're half into making out, but you're half not feeling it. So half of you, I don't understand.
I felt an odd sensation on my back. It had happened before when people were behind me, and I told her to pull her hand in, which she did. A few minutes later, I felt the sensation in my back again, but it felt more urgent. I rolled her window up, but being a horny ass teenager, continued with the makeout session. A few minutes later, it felt like someone had stuck a live wire to my back. I sat up, started the car, and headed back down the mountain. She was obviously confused and asked me what was wrong. I replied that I didn't know, but something was wrong somewhere. We went back to my parents' house and was assured by them the family was okay. Having calmed down some, we ate a little dinner, then started to leave. After I opened the car door for her, I walked around the back of the car. While walking, I glanced at the back of the car and saw handprints, the same color of the mysterious mud puddle on the car. What?
Ooh, I got chills on that one.
Ew, what would that? Ew. The last one was over the back window, and it was obvious someone was watching us while inching their way to the front driver's side window. Oh my gosh. When I saw the handprints, it was like being hit with a lightning bolt, and I knew what had happened. Cold chills ran all over me. I got her out of the car, and as soon as she saw the prints, she knew too. The story is the absolute truth, so help me, and I will never forget it. Dang, they were probably inches away from possibly being killed.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
Imagine if you
Ew.
didn't get those feelings.
Ew. So that means whoever it was had to be like crawling around on the ground to have muddy hands. Like they're
To me, that's
probably
creepier than
creepy.
supernatural.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Can you imagine being her though when your hand was out the window the whole entire time until he was like, hey, let's just roll your hand in?
Oh, she could have been grabbed. Ooh, that's scary. Oh, that is wrong turn sounding shit.
Ooh.
That one might give me nightmares, to be honest.
I mean, because that sounds human, and that's what makes it creepy. Human is scarier than any type of paranormal, in my opinion.
And to be out in the middle of nowhere and that to happen is
Yeah,
even more terrifying. Ooh. Mm-mm.
that's not the direction I expected it to go.
Me either.
Like, what would you even do in that situation, though? I don't like, I would be scarred probably for the rest of my life. I don't know because that night could have gone completely different.
Yeah. Ooh, this is giving me the creeps because I can't remember when it was. I think it was the night after the dumpster fire, the literal dumpster fire. I went somewhere and I was walking back to my car in the parking lot, and there were muddy handprints on the back of my car.
You
And
never told me this.
yeah, I don't know what it was from or who would have
Who it was
been
from?
touching my car. Yeah, but it's kind of weird. Ew, I don't like it. That's a wrap. That's all I got.
That's a creepy one. And not a creepy one, that's for sure.
Everybody's having nightmares tonight. You're welcome.
Weird to go from a funny one to a really dark one.
Yeah, brought it right back to the dark side.
All right, well, that was our first Appalachia podcast episode, which is crazy that we haven't done an episode about Appalachia.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. We should do this more often.
And I'm kind of mad because, this was like 12 years, this was more than, 12 years ago. Whenever I did the trail, I didn't know anything about Appalachia or any rules that you're supposed to follow. So I wish I did, so I would know if stuff, or if I remember if creepy stuff happened, because I don't remember if I heard whistling at night or if someone called my name in the middle of the night. I don't remember that. But I did also know that there was so much lore behind Appalachia back then. And so I'm kind of mad because maybe I would have seen it completely different being out there.
I wonder if you would have, if it would have made it harder for you to know all that stuff. So maybe it's a good thing that you didn't know.
That's also a very good point. I think it would.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of sleepless nights in tent. So I can't imagine being in my tent and, like I said, I hear whistling or something just walking around my tent. Ugh.
Yeah, no thanks. And I'm sure people, I would not be surprised if people mess with other people doing that kind of stuff, but it still wouldn't make it any less scary.
No, I mean, like shelters we would stay at, because you can sleep in shelters. It's like a resting spot. And there are ones that, people, like a couple was murdered a couple days before we got to the shelter. Like in that shelter, there was a girl that was murdered on Blood Mountain in Georgia, like a couple days before we hiked that mountain. So there's, like I said, not just paranormal, there's a lot of bad people out there that do bad things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still not convinced that I narrowly avoided being murdered when I went to Florida and camped. When I told you about that guy that was in the next campsite over, and every night he was just there alone at the table with a candle lit and flipping cards for hours. Who knows what the hell that was all about?
Watch him come on and email us and be like, I was playing solitaire. I was just minding my own business.
Yeah, I'm learning tarot, how to read tarot cards. Just leave me alone.
Just be safe when you're camping or, out there in the middle of nowhere. Just respect the woods. Don't
answer calls of any kind, knocks, calls, anything calling out to you. You didn't hear it.
Redneck neighbor from the holler over.
Doing shitbird activities. Oh, that was great.
Well, if you have more Appalachia stories, let us know. This is a fun topic to do. I feel like there's so much to it. It's a very popular topic. But you can find us on all the social medias at Weekly Bizarre Podcast. You can email us at weeklybizarrepodcast@gmail.com. You can support us on patreon.com/weeklybizarre. And like I said earlier, that I completely revamped it. So go check it out. We truly appreciate the support. Like I said in the beginning, it does help us go a long way. We also have added to our YouTube channel where now we're just reading scary stories.
We think that we've decided on posting those on Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So our reading, like soft-spoken stories are going to be releasing on Wednesdays, and our normal videos will still be releasing on Sundays.
And if they become pretty popular, we'll try to do it more often, especially if we can make it a full-time job. We have more time to do that. So
yes,
that is our goal. That's why we need you guys for all the love and support. Stay spooky, stay safe, take care of each other and yourself. And if it's weird,
we're going to talk about it.